Violet finds her father Finn passed out drunk. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel General Hospital Update. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. A passed out drunk Finn is discovered by spoiler, and Carly learns Jason's been protecting her. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. General Hospital spoilers, July 15 to 19. Sam arrives at Carly's office and says she knows why Jason let them think he was dead. Sam says what Carly's about to hear isn't all about her, even though she'll make it out to be. She says this affected her and Danny, Liz and Jake, and anyone who loved Jason. She plays the recording from the meeting with the 5 families where Carly took over Sonny. Carly asks where this came from. Sam says it came from the FBI and Spinelli acquired it. Carly is stunned, as she had no idea this was the evidence the FBI had, let alone this recording existed. The meeting happened over 3 years ago under tight security. Sam says it wasn't tight enough. Carly asks why she went looking for this. Sam wanted to know what the FBI was holding over Jason, and she and Spinelli wanted to delete it, but they couldn't. Carly can't believe Jason was protecting her and laments, "Poor Jason." Sam fumes. Jason was not the victim. He abandoned his children and let everyone who loved him think he was dead. Carly says this isn't Jason's fault, and Sam tells her she blames her just as much as Jason. She says Jason abandoned his life to cover for her. Sam rants about how Carly never has to pay for her own mistakes. Carly says Sam needs to direct her anger at Kate's. Sam says she'll always stick up for Jason, and vice versa, but to think about all the people Jason left behind for her. Sam storms out. At the warehouse, Anna and Jason argue over how to get the information out of Valentin. Jason wants to break into his place, but Anna says her way will work. She is his blind spot. Jason says he sacrificed 2.5 years to protect Carly. He needs to prove to the FBI that Valentin is their guy. Later, Kate arrives to see Jason and knows Anna was here, so what did they talk about? He hopes Jason recorded everything. Jason says he never records his conversations. He tells Kate he won't find anything on Anna as there is nothing to find unless he doesn't even care about actual evidence. Kate says Anna's background at the WSB proves she's not so innocent. Jason warns him he's following the wrong lead. Kate tells him if he doesn't find the evidence against Anna, then he'll go back to Quantico and take Carly with him. He storms out. Kate stops by Carly's office, and she says she's a little busy. He says he will make it worthwhile for her and has brought champagne. He never thanked her for rescuing him that night and nursing him back to health. Kate also says his investigation is wrapping up, and he'll return to Quantico soon. She's sorry to see him go. He says he won't miss much about Port Charles, but he will miss her. Carly asks if he's rounded up all the bad guys. Kate says that the thing about bad guys is that there is always one more out there, and this person has done very bad things. She notes his interesting choice of words, and is this bad guy really a woman? Kate says if he didn't know any better, he'd think she was trying to get information out of him. But as for the gender of the bad guy, a good agent never tells. She asks if he's a good agent. He says, the best. She says she'll drink to that. Anna arrives at Valentin's, and she comments on how lovely his house is decorated. He says he bought it for her and hopes she'd move in. Valentin goes to the cellar for wine, and Anna snoops around. She doesn't find anything, and Valentin returns and asks, "Did you find what you were looking for?" Anna says she was just admiring the books on his shelf, as he knows she loves to read. They sip some wine, and Anna tells him about how their old friend Jack was involved in a knife fight in Pentonville and was recently at General Hospital. She says she went to see him, and he strongly implied he stabbed himself to get a visit from Carly of all people. Valentin would rather not discuss Jack, and says he'd rather discuss her. She says he's so good at deflecting. He suggests they go to the patio for dinner. After dinner, they share another drink. Anna says he seems to be very successful at ELQ these days and traveling a lot, so what's he up to? He says he won't bore her to tears with that corporate stuff. He says her work is more interesting and asks what she is working on. She says it's classified, which reminds her she has a big day tomorrow. She has to go. Valentin asks her not to, as there is something he has to tell her. Anna says this sounds serious. Valentin says it is, and they have been dancing around the fact that their relationship has been damaged and trust lost. However, what he has to say is completely honest. He loves her, he always has, it's in his DNA, and being apart from her has been agony. This love he has for her hasn't faded, and never will. Anna admits she's still drawn to him, and like him, she wishes she didn't feel it. She thinks it's late and she should go, and this was a lovely evening. He kisses her hand and says he loved it too, and wishes it didn't have to end. Anna suggests maybe it doesn't, and they kiss. As they kiss, Jason spies on them from the window. At their apartment, Chase and Brooklyn come home from a night out celebrating just the two of them. At Maxie's, Georgie and James beg their mom to please let Violet sleep over. Maxie says maybe next time, as she thinks her dad wants her home. Violet tells James she had fun, but her dad gets sad when she's not there. At Finn's, he wakes up on the couch, drunk and confused. Somber music is playing from his phone, and he begins taking swigs straight out of the bottle. He notices a broken glass on the table and blood smears. He looks at his hand, which is cut and has a piece of glass stuck in it. He takes a swig of booze, pulls the glass out, pours booze on his cut, and passes out. Violet is walked up to the door by the doorman. She enters and sees her dad on the ground, out cold, and his hand is cut. She grabs his phone and sees a missed call from Tracy. She calls back and tells Tracy her dad needs help, and she thinks he's dead. Tracy says she'll be right there. At the Quartermaine mansion, Tracy calls in an emergency at Finn's place before heading over. Tracy arrives, and Violet says her dad won't wake up. Tracy says she called an ambulance and to wait by the door for them. Tracy checks on Finn, and soon the paramedics arrive and begin tending to him. Tracy tells Violet her dad is just sleeping, and he probably fell. Violet asks about the blood, and Tracy says he seems to have cut his hand when he fell. Tracy checks in with the paramedics, who tell her that a drunk is not an emergency. She apologizes, as they know that, but Violet doesn't. Tracy sees Violet has a bag with her and suggests they should go visit her Uncle Chase. Violet doesn't want to go, and thinks this was her fault because she wasn't here. Tracy says her dad needs to rest. Violet fears he may not wake up like Grandpa. Tracy says this isn't the same, as her grandpa was very sick, and her dad just needs time to feel better. They head out. When Maxie returns home, Spinelli sees her mind somewhere else. Maxie is worried about Violet, and how concerned she is about her dad. It sounded like she was raising Finn, and not the other way around. Maxie is afraid something is going on in that home. Later, there is a knock at the door, and it's Sam. Sam is sorry for not calling, and she wanted to check in with Spinelli. Maxie leaves them alone, and Sam tells Spinelli that she went to see Carly and find out what she knew about Jason and the FBI. Sam says Carly can lie like a pro, but she did not know this about Jason. When Spinelli voices concern for Carly, she says Carly will be fine, and Jason made sure of that. She says Jason made his choices. Tracy arrives at Chase and Brooklyn's with Violet, and she says she was telling Violet how much they were looking forward to seeing her. They ask if she wants some cocoa or food, but she's not hungry. She says her swimsuit is wet and still in her bag, so Brooklyn says they should go hang it up. Alone, Chase asks why Violet is with Tracy. Tracy explains Violet walked in on Finn drunk, passed out, and bleeding after cutting his hand. Violet thought he had died while she was off having fun and blamed herself for leaving him alone. She explains Violet saw missed calls from her on his phone, so she called her for help. Tracy cries that Violet was terrified, and Tracy thought Chase could distract her from what she saw. Chase asks where Finn is. She relays he's at home. Hopefully, the paramedics have him bandaged up by now. She's going to check on him, and Chase wants to come with her. Tracy tells Chase that he can't. She notes Finn will want to see Violet when he wakes up. She asks Chase to take Violet to her house because Finn might come here and pound on his door looking for Violet, scaring her even more. Tracy explains Violet needs him to make her feel safe right now. Chase asks her to keep him posted on Finn and thanks her. Tracy loves Finn as a friend, and she wants to help Gregory's son in any way she can. Chase can't believe the pain he must be in, and he feels like he's failing Finn if he doesn't go with her. Tracy says she can say things to Finn that he can't, and what she has to say he needs to hear. Later, Violet asks Chase if he knows how to cook. He says he does, so she asks him to teach her to make things other than sandwiches. She thinks if she can make something more, maybe her dad won't be so sad. He's about to say it's not her place to take care of Finn, but BLQ gives him a look, and he instead tells her that they are going to spend the night at the Quartermain mansion. In the morning, while Sasha cooks for everyone else, he will teach her how to make French toast. Violet worries her dad may need her help tonight, so Brooklyn says they will call and check on him. She sends her to get her phone in the kitchen. Alone, Brooklyn tells Chase this is breaking her heart. All Violet wants to do is take care of Finn. Chase hates lying to her, but Brooklyn says the truth would only scare her, and they are keeping Violet safe. Brooklyn calls out and says she found her phone, called her dad, and he says it's okay for her to spend the night at the Quartermain mansion. Tracy arrives at Finn's and finds he's passed out in the chair. She kicks him a few times, but he doesn't respond. She begins taking photos of him, the broken glass, and the blood. She tears up as she takes photos. Tracy begins searching Finn's medical bag, finds an ammonia capsule, and breaks it to wake him up. He stirs awake quickly and says, What happened? Tracy asks, You tell me. Finn asks where Violet is. Tracy replies, She's gone, and she's not coming back. On the next General Hospital, Carly cries to Spinelli that she has to fix this. She has to make it right. Molly cries in Tay's arms and says, We were wrong to trust my sister. Christina asks Ava, Do you want to do the honors, or shall I? Kate says, I'll definitely drink to that. Violet asks Brooklyn, What if he thinks I don't love him anymore? Chase calls someone for help. Finn feuds at Tracy. If anyone tries to stop me, I'll call the P. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, Alice.